Hi guys, Marcus. Welcome back to my channel, Low Budget Wisdom. Think about it this way. Whatever that has happened to you up until this point in your life has been preordained from the second you were born, right? From the second that you came into this world, everything has been decided up until the time of your physical body's death, right? And then, you know, due to karmic propensities or whatever you have accumulated in this world, your experiences, how much you have experienced and how much you have been aware of what you have been experiencing, and then integrating it into your own being, your own energetic body, and then that karmic propensity is going to propel you forward to the next life if you are deemed to be eligible for reincarnation with a different set of lessons and different sets of experiences and things that you have to go through in order to evolve your own soul, then you will get reincarnated. But if not, then you may, for whatever reason, float somewhere, and then when the time is right or whatever, you may go somewhere else. I do not know exactly, but there's an inner feeling that confirms this, right? So why are we alive in the first place? From the moment we were born, we had no control over what happens to us in the larger sense of scale, in the larger sense of things, right? If you pull back from the day you were born, you had no control over what family you were to be born with. You have no control what kind of school you go to, the people that you meet, the experiences that happen in your childhood, right? The traumas that happen, your geolocation of where you were born, what country, what household, what area, So in the same sense, we also, if you think about it in the bigger picture, we also don't have any control in our lives at this current moment. Now, I don't say it as a pessimistic, oh, I have no control over what is going to happen to me. Everything is decided for me. I don't mean it in a pessimistic sense. What I mean is we do not have control. Is that, and this would bring you a peace of mind, okay? Actually surrendering to the universe and understanding on the deepest level that we do not have control over our lives, and everything has been ordained to us, destined to us to happen at the exact place, exact time, exact moment that is deemed perfect for us to be able to handle these kind of challenges, right? This should bring a sense of peace to your living, right? Let me explain why. That is because a, a lot of it, the majority of the things that happen to us, for us, to the people around us, to the places we live in, to our jobs, our life, our wealth, our relationships, all these, we can just surrender that to God, to the higher powers, to the universal forces that move our soul along karmically, so that we can evolve spiritually, right? All these mentation and logical thinking and planning can be, in a sense, can be subbed to the higher powers to decide to do the thinking and the planning and the happenings and all that, right? We can sub this. We can basically outsource this majority of the workload to the universe. That is all. That is what surrendering is all about, right? Surrendering to the universe. It should be taken as a positive thing if you are able to see it on a deeper level, and on the flip side to the pessimistic view, right? If you can see it in the positive perspective, then it will work perfectly for you. And even if you don't, no worries, right? The universe doesn't judge. The universe does not care whether or not you like the situation. the universe knows, and the only thing the universe is concerned about is how can I allow this particular person with this particular person's attributes, their life situations, their relationships, the people that they're destined to meet or destined to let go, the toxic acts, the toxic bosses, or the people that they're gonna meet that may be perceived to be someone who is going to push them along their spiritual evolutionary path. How am I best gonna use this person's short lifespan, right? In the view of the universe, your life of 80, 90, 100 years is less than a blink of an eye to the universe, right? So how can I use this person's short lifespan like that to help this person evolve spiritually, and then to gain a more rounded understanding of what life entails and what life actually is, to evolve their soul, right, for some higher purpose? How can I best use this life to do that for this person? And I've planned it perfectly. All this person has to do is experience that whole life that this person has been sent down to earth to experience. And then when the time is ripe, this person's body drops dead. Whatever way that may be for that particular person's karmic propensity, that person would drop dead. Death is the most certain thing that we can look forward to, right? It's a positive thing, because that means that your life has done its duty. Your life has expressed itself perfectly, beautifully, and in right divine timing, you will drop dead. Your body will drop dead. Your soul moves on. There is nothing to fear about physical death. And we cannot control that. We cannot control what happens to us prior to our death. But what we can control is our perspective, how we hold certain elements in our life, how we view those certain elements that happen in our lives, what perspective we look at it at, right? Just like the sun shines whether or not you like it, whether or not you apply sunscreen, whether or not if you love the sun, whether or not you curse the sun for causing you sunburn, whether or not there are clouds, whether or not your country, has heavy rainfall. It does not matter. The sun shines continuously, even when your part of the world is experiencing nighttime, right? Nighttime after sunset. The sun still shines. The sun is still there, right? So just like the sun being there, whether or not we like it, our lives would go through whatever it needs to go through as ordained by the universe, the higher powers, God, whatever you call it, right? It is ordained. Whether or not you like what is happening to you at this current moment, what is happening to the world at this current moment, what is happening to your financial landscape, your family, your relationships, doesn't matter. That is exactly what you need at this current moment. Whether or not you are, you have reached your goals, or you have not reached your goals yet, you're at bottom, right? Life is a sine wave. It's a wave, right? Everybody's life, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're the wealthiest person on earth, I don't care if you're the king of whatever country, I don't care if you're the president, I don't care if you're a janitor, I don't care if you're a monk, I don't care if you're a homeless person, begging on the streets. It does not matter, right? Everyone's lives moves like a curve, right? That is the contrast that physical life, this 3D earth realm provides to us. Contrast. Without contrast, there is nothing for us to hold on to, right? Without heat, we won't understand what cold means, So every person's life has all these ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. But the problem is, if our emotionality, if our energetics, if our frequency, our vibration follows these ups and downs of life, then we will suffer. Then we are bound 100% to suffer. Why? Because if it is going up, if you're living life on a high at this current moment in time, right? And your energetics, your frequency and vibration and your emotions follow this high, and you perceive it to be good, then you're going to suffer, because you're going to start asking questions like, oh man, my life is going really good right now. I would never want it to end. That is an attachment. That is an attachment to the high that you are living at this current moment. And you know, no matter how much you try to control these events, you are going to come down off the curve someday. You're going to come back down, but you're going to rise back up again. So your attachment to this high of a life that you're living at this current moment is causing you suffering, because now you have fears about when am I going to, when could I, when will I lose this high? When will I lose this perfect relationship? When will I lose this amount of accumulated wealth? When will I lose this lifestyle that I'm living on a high right now? Right? I don't want this to end. That is precisely what's causing you suffering. It is a universal human experience, point blank, period. The attachment to that high, knowing full well that it's going to end someday. It will. And if it doesn't, then remember, the only certain thing in life is death, the physical death of your humanly body, right? Your physical death of your living body is going to end that high anyway. So live through that experience. It's going to teach you something. It's going to give you some contrast. It's going to give you some experiences. It's going to cause some emotions. It's going to cause some fears about, thinking of ways to accumulate more and to keep that for yourself, to keep that safe. And then you're going to notice, wait a second, I might as well just enjoy as much as I can, do what I can to accumulate more money if that makes you happy, right? There's no right or wrong, right? Money is not evil. Money is just is. It's a form of exchange for services, for products, for food, for housing, all these things, right? Money in and of itself is not evil, is not good. It just is. Money is a form of exchange. So when you're living on the high curve of life, your emotionality and your vibration and frequency should stay stable. It shouldn't rise with the high, and then when it dips, your frequency, our job is to learn to keep our vibrational frequency high, our energetics high, right? So that it doesn't get affected by external things, whether or not we are living on a high or a low, right? All those things will end. Whether it's high or low, it will end. It goes as a cycle. So, if it causes a lot of mental frustration and suffering about how to keep this lifestyle going forever, that's causing you suffering. And if your life starts trending down, right, your physical external world is trending down, you may lose a job, lose a relationship that you really wanted to hold on to tightly, or you may lose family members to old age, to death, sickness, right? All these things happen naturally. It's a cycle of life. That's normal, right? If you're trending down, if your external life is trending down, seemingly, and then now you're on the other end of suffering, desire for more, right? You suffer again. But we have to realize, no matter if it's up or down, our life is just to experience the contrast. Nothing stays up forever. Nothing stays at the bottom forever as well. So what we can do, the only control that we have is our perspective. How we going to hold our perspective onto looking at it from a perspective of what is this experience teaching me? Why am I sent here to experience this contrast? What am I doing here on this in this lifetime, going through all these theatrics, all these all these life experiences? What am I doing here? Right? We got to start asking the deeper questions. What is these kind of experiences in my job teaching me? Why do I have to go through these experiences? Because a lot of time, in hindsight, after we have grown, after we have matured, in hindsight, we look back into our lives and then we think, actually, you know what? This life experience taught me a lot, right? It has helped me, it has propelled me to this place of maturity and understanding about my own life, right? And without these experiences in the past, I would not be who I am today. I'm sure there are many, many lessons that you have learned in the past that have helped you to get to where you are today. So everything will make sense in hindsight. This is something that I am sure of, and I can say with 100% certainty, everything will start to make sense in hindsight, provided we are aware of what happened in the first place, right? Just like the sun, whatever happens, the lessons and all that, it will happen, irrespective of how you feel about it. So we might as well feel good, right? We might as well feel calm, feel grateful for the highs of lives. We might as well also feel good for the lows of our lives, because we know that all these things experientially is provided for us by the universe to grow our soul, to help our spirit evolve. That is all it is. So your emotions, you know, that is the part that we need to focus on. Be aware and conscious of our emotional stability, our high vibrational energy. Don't let anything externally, not any person, not any not any life transition in the 3D physical materialistic world, not wealth, not relationships, not any singular event. None of that should ever affect our emotional calmness. As hard as it may be to go through these challenges as a collective and as well as an individual, it should never, nothing in the external world should ever cause us suffering. Pain and suffering are two different, distinct things. They are not the same, right? You can feel pain without suffering. You can feel joy without suffering. Or you can feel pain with the suffering. You can feel joy with the suffering. You can feel abundance with the suffering of having to, the added responsibility to manage and try to keep and hoard your finances. That is suffering in and of itself. To be able to figure out and scheme and use cunning ways to kind of like maintain your image, your egotistically created image of being of a certain, social status, right? That in and of itself is suffering. But if we are going through that, right, as an experiential learning curve for the evolution of your soul, then you go through that. But you don't have to suffer. You can go through having money, problems, having problems with the relationship towards money, right? For as an example, you can have that without suffering. You can go through a bad breakup with a lot of hurt and a lot of traumas and a lot of all these negative feelings without suffering. The feelings are teaching you something. Everything in life that happens to you, whether or not it happens or it does not happen, is teaching you something. That's the main message of this point. Nothing externally should move you off center, no matter how painful, no matter how joyous, how whatever it is, it serves a bigger purpose. And if you don't realize it now, and I know it can be a bit challenging to realize, what when it is happening, right? It's a challenge to realize, why is this happening to me right now? Right? When you're deep in the shit, when you're deep in it, it's challenging, it's hard, it's difficult to see what's the greater purpose of this thing. But I promise you, in hindsight, it will make sense. That's the message of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, like this video if it resonated with you. Comment down below what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it. See you guys in the next one. Bye.